To start so hard. I always want to ride that whip. I always want to fuck that bitch. Think you gotta fuck that bitch. I always want to live this life. I always want to wear that ice. I always want a paradise. I always want a paradise. Nah, it don't take a lot to make you rich.
Yo, 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 and welcome to the Paradise Valley Podcast. We are here for our first ever podcast, and we're happy to be here presenting a little bit of an overview of the league, talking about one of the best fantasy leagues in the history of the world. We wanted to get this going just to spread the entertainment value that the league provides, as well as, get some call-ins hopefully in future weeks and things like that. Really just get the league going even more than what it's already at. We're going to get Ross in here, Patrick Jross.
Yo, what's good?
And we also have DBrown in on the phone, so we're going to hear from him as well.
What a night, boys. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good time.
So to start us off, we're going to have Pat talk a little bit about the history of the league and how we got to where we are today.
Of course. Paradise Valley, legendary league here. It's going on our 6th year. First couple of years, we're a little blamed, but we'll take it. We got some grizzled vets in the league. Caleb, me, Dap, Sheehan, and Colin Mack been there all 5 years. A little history. Caleb's got 1. Sheehan's got 1. I got 3. Mac has yet to make a playoffs. That's history there.
Oh.
And
Grogan and C-Dap have never won one.
We got DBrown's been in the league for a couple years. Dimmer, Lane, Swags, and the rookie Kirch. Welcome to the league, kid. And little playoff background. DBrown is yet to win a game. Dap has yet to win a game, and Dimmer and Swags have made it to the chip. And that's about it for the league.
Let's hear from DBrown. How do you think about this year so far, man?
Oh man, big year for Paradise Valley. I just feel like it gets better every year. And like you said, we got Kirchy, the newcomer this year, rookie season. I think that's one of the things I'm looking forward to most this year, is just looking to see how Kirch can perform in the league. A lot of questions were surrounded Kirchen when he came in, and I think he's lived up to it so far. He had a solid draft. He's made some good moves, and he's 2-0 so far. So,
for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely love it. So let's start off and let's start big week of trades. How about it, boys? It was unreal.
Wow.
It was just flying off the radar.
Historic.
Just trade talk all week, but when the trades went down, they seemed to fly off the shelf. So
unlike anything we've ever seen in the Valley.
Yeah.
I feel like we got to start with you because it was history in the makings. First ever 3-teamer. It kind of came out of nowhere. For me, I was absolutely shocked. I was talking with Dap about Hunt, and then boom, he was gone. Take us into that a little.
Like you said, just shocked. I woke up. Last thing I was expecting was having Gronkowski on my team end of the day. But let's just start.
First things first here, kid.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that. I just got a text out of nowhere. You liking Kelsey from C-Dap? And I was, of course, you say yes when you're seeing how Trey Burton's performed the first 2 weeks with the Bears. The Bears the offense not looking good. We did draft 3 Bears, and we wanted to get rid of them quick. So when Dabby came with us and said you liking Kelsey, of course we wanted it. So we asked what he was looking for. Next thing you know, group chat pops on my phone. It's me, him, and Kirch. I'm like, wow, things are rolling. The ball is rolling. We got a 3-teamer working here. Big names involved. Kareem Hunt, big names. So, of course, we got things working. I'm a manager who loves trading.
My question for you, why did you go after Funchess for A-Rod? Do you think that was necessary?
Oh, no, I think Funchess with Olsen out, he's the top target in Carolina. There's no one else.
So do you view him as a bigger asset than Allen Robinson?
Robinson started high. He was getting targeted a bunch, but I just feel like we're going to want Cam Newton top.
Did that add-in need to happen to get Kirch in on the trade?
I'm sorry?
Did the add-in of Allen Robinson need to happen to get Kirch in on the trade?
Yeah, Kirch this probably wasn't happening without Allen Robinson involved. That's a definite.
Yeah. So what about Dab? You think he was willing to? I thought he was a little too willing to get rid of both Hunt and Kelsey.
I agree.
I think Dap did give up a lot. I mean, I was shocked with him starting as well as he started. He scored a shit ton of points. Me and him had a battle week one, could have gone either way. And I just feel like Dap throwing out those big names a little shocking. I mean, he did say his running back depth was the big part in it, but I just don't think we're seeing it as much as he thought.
He thinks he has a lot more depth than I think a lot of people think he has.
I mean, I would have been the first to say that he didn't have as much as he did, but it bit me in the ass last night.
Yeah, we saw Ross go into a bad place last night.
We'll get to that later. But initially, I was going to say Dap was the clear loser, but I've kind of changed my mind. Let's take Gronk out of this. We're thinking Gronk has not been on your team yet. I'm kind of thinking you lost that trade.
Right. I can see how you say that. I mean, we gave up some pieces, but I just feel like
from my point of view, I feel like Hogan was kind of an add-in that you could have kept.
To me, Hogan was gone that week, and we really wanted to just get rid of him. I'm not liking Hogan, to be honest.
I can see his value going down hardcore at some point, but with his injury risk and other player Edelman coming back, but I think maybe you got rid of him too early, but I get why you got rid of him.
I agree.
This is one of those trades where, I mean, it was the first 3-teamer of all time, but it's a trade I look at and I go, it can go any way. I could see any of the three you guys winning it. So
I texted Caleb that day, and he said that.
I like that trade a lot. I like how it just flew right off the shelf. And you guys both were cool with it, or all three of you were cool with it right away.
But boy, is Kirch's three-headed running back. Like, I don't think anybody's had that in the league yet. Like, that's scary.
But let's move on. Let's talk about the Gronk trade. How'd that go down, DBrown?
Those are 3 first-rounders right there. Kirch's 3 running backs.
Yeah,
that is
absolutely.
No doubt about that. The Gronk trade, I just really like the combination. I was working C-Mac for Gronk for a little bit before I even got Kelsey, and I knew I probably didn't have enough to give him yet. And I knew C-Mac has a straight hard-on for Mahomes right now. On Mahomes. So, we threw it. I gave Kelsey's name out there and then let him sit on it for a little bit. That's it. I was like, hey, man, I got Kelsey, let him sit. And it brewed well with him. He came back for me. He was like, how about you give me Kelsey and a running back? And at first, he asked me for Corey Clement. And I just said, I shut it down right away. He said, no way.
Good call. Like him a lot.
He's having a big weekend.
Me and Caleb were talking preseason on Clement. But, so he came for Clement and Kelsey, and I shut that down, and he came back with Michelle, and I said, I'll get rid of Michelle right now for Gronk, so I did it. And I think at the end of the day, every year we've been in the playoffs. We can't close it out and win the game. We've been in the playoffs every year, so I'm thinking, I'm penciling myself into the playoffs already, and I'm thinking come playoff time, who's helping you out more? Gronk, Trey Burton, and Allen Robinson.
Hold your horses, cowboy.
Whoa, we're talking playoffs, bro. Playoffs?
I'm thinking you're going to want Gronk on your roster in the playoffs.
I really think the question mark is if Mahomes and this Chiefs offense can keep it up. And if they can, damn, Kelsey is a huge red zone threat. I can't see Gronk outperforming him too much. But you know what? Mahomes is young. Kelsey and him have yet to prove. Week 1 he didn't play that well.
Yep.
So we'll see if he can be the week 2 Kelsey or the week 1 Kelsey.
Uh-huh.
Right. And we need the healthy Gronk or the unhealthy Gronk,
Right, so. Exactly. That's a big toss-up in this trade.
They said it would be good. So,
kind of in my mind is come playoff time, who do you want on your roster? Gronk or Burton? Gronk or Robinson? And it's Gronk every time. So, when you can acquire Rob Gronkowski, I think you do it. Yeah, and we had to give up a lot. We definitely know we did. But I think it's well worth it.
So, in the end, you got Gronk and Funchess for Robinson, Burton, Michelle, and Hogan.
Yep.
2 players on each team. That's kind of a good thing. You don't want too many of one team. Not enough touchdowns to go around.
I just think there's not really many weekly starters that we can. Gronk is just a penciled-in guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the other 3-team trade. A big, after one 3-team trade in a day, you're sitting at work, you're like, all right, what a day. And then you come home and there's another 3-team trade on the table. Like, what is going on?
I think it was breaking news before that Jim and Lane made a trade. Did that come before the 3-teamer?
They were right around the same time. Yeah.
It was kind of like Dim and Wayne wanting to get in on the party. They knew that because Colin teased the 3-teamer before we agreed on it earlier in the day.
Yeah, so people were looking for it. And then the Thompson one slipped in the
felt like
cracks.
the league was just itching. Everyone wanted to get in on the action. So I kind of was. I wasn't too surprised, but I was surprised definitely because especially when a name like Sheehan's involved in the 3-team trade, that's mind blowing.
3 running backs off to bad starts, switching teams, pretty interesting. Which guy would you rather have out of those 3, DBrown? And obviously some quarterbacks were involved, but just looking at the running backs.
Out of Collins, McCoy, and
Devontae, yeah, Freeman.
I think the running back you want out of those 3, that's tough. It's got to be between Collins and McCoy. And I want to lean towards McCoy a little bit. Part of me wants to lean towards McCoy just because I think that if he's healthy and on the field, you know he's getting stuffed with the ball.
That
and
team sucks.
He'll get fed, yes.
The Bills suck, but
he does get fed the ball, and he has the opportunity to bang off 120 yards, 2 TDs, and then win you a week right there.
yeah.
The other guy, like Collins, mixed up with Buck Allen, and then you got Freeman injured. I just think
Buck Allen's got more red zone looks or snaps this year than Alex
It's
Collins.
definitely tough because pretty much all those running backs had a question with them whether it was injury or were they even the starter.
Yeah.
For sure. A little background on the trade, though, is
Yeah.
that Monday I came in, I let the group know I wanted to trade. I left work, and I was like, Mac, we were texting all day. I said, let's talk on the phone. I know I can get to Mac more on the phone than through text. So he says he's in class. Sheehan texts me, and he goes, who do you want? And I said, call me. Sheehan goes through his team, and obviously, like, I'm Sheehan. I want A.J. Green, and that's about it. And then we worked into McCoy for Devontae, and then he backed out on it. And then all night, me and Mac are trying to go. It was definitely Russ for Wentz, plus I wanted Collins the whole time, and he wanted Breida. I wasn't willing to give up Breida. It went back and forth that way, yeah. And then the next day, I was like, I'm gonna steal these guys' idea. Like, I'm not taking credit at all. It was all that first 3 teams, but I popped in and talked with them and had it on the table for a while. I was the one hesitating. I was not sold on the Alex Collins part of it over McCoy or Devontae because, I mean, let's be real. The Falcons' offense is the best out of the 3, so if Devontae's there getting touches in that offense, it's going to be good, but I had to give up on him, and I feel like Wentz is going to be a game changer. The Seattle's offense looks a mess. Their offensive line sucks. Their team sucks. And then I'm here for Collins. I think he can be the starter in Baltimore. And the thing that got me
and his boy Wentz is coming back to Beantown,
yes.
Sex Panthers.
Mac, first, I'm a little questionable on how early Mac was willing to get rid of Wentz, not even watching a start, just kind of getting in on Mahomes. And second, he was harping on RB depth, and yet this week his RB depth is worse because he doesn't have he could have Alex Collins starting as he did last week, and now he has McCoy, who most likely will be out.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the Thompson-Drake trade quickly, and then move on to some week 3 previews.
Kind of flew under the table, the Thompson for Kenyon Drake trade.
Who do you got? The way I look at it, Drake is a good, solid, consistent back, but I don't think he has the upside that Thompson has. Just personally, I mean, I just don't look at Drake as that sexy of a player. Thompson, he's been getting a lot of touches. He's going to score with the check down looks from
Chris
Smith.
Thompson.
I like him a lot.
How much upside is there? I mean, if he could take. I just don't think he's a 3-down back. He's going to do
That's
most.
what I'm saying.
He caught the ball 13 times last week.
Bucks. His plays that he makes are Bucks plays, but other than that, I think he's going to give you a lot of weeks that you're not happy with.
I just don't think Drake is a 3-down back either, and I think it's a lot worse of an offense. I think Frank Gore is taking a decent chunk of the touches, and he's looking pretty good. He may be 35, but he's still balling. So he's back in Miami. He's looking good. I think he's going to take some of the looks, and I like Thompson more than Drake.
I like the chance by Lane. He took a chance. I think Thompson.
Right. And
Thompson won't get the goal line looks, which is huge for a running back, but the Redskins seem like check down Alex Smith is going to be giving him a lot of touches.
Chris Thompson has more receptions than Antonio Brown this year, and Antonio Brown is leading the league in targets. So
Wow. Let's say
Thompson's
this.
going to get the ball, and that offense, I think he's going to get a lot of yards on those checkdowns. I like Thompson
But at the end of the
Good
day,
move, Gross.
I think that's the biggest toss-up trade. Like, you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right.
Quickly before we move on to games, we got a special guest, Dap. Could we get a quick
What's good?
little story on what went down on the 3-team trade? Apparently, you were the one who orchestrated the first ever.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw that I wanted Tyreek Hill, knew that Kurtz was going to need something back that I didn't want to give up, asked DBrown if he was interested in Kelsey, and he was, so just went for it. We all seem to walk away happy.
I
man.
think everyone in the league kind of wants to ask you, why were you so quick to get rid of Kareem Hunt?
I just saw an opportunity to get better at my wide receiver
I'd like to say
position.
something about Kareem Hunt. He really has not shown anything yet.
And,
Yeah, but, like,
and I
let's-
got Ingram coming back.
He had a
and Carlos
disappointing
Hyde's
half
playing well,
last
and
year.
James
Kareem Hunt is a
Hyde's
question
playing
mark.
well, and now I picked up Lindsey. So
It's 2 weeks though. The guy led the league in rushing last year. I feel like it's
don't-
early to give up on
I don't think he's
him.
gonna be bad. I'm not giving,
75 yards last game.
I
That's
didn't
not bad.
I wasn't like unhappy with him. I just thought that I had a good enough running back core to try and get better wide receivers. and
Kareem
then giving
Hunt,
up something.
Kareem Hunt only has one catch this year, so that could be something that Mahomes just and him just don't have the chemistry.
I think Mahomes and Hill, like I feel like he just looks for Hill off the bat every time.
That's a nasty connection.
That's a scary lineup.
All
That's
right.
a scary matchup. to
Yeah,
have,
they're looking
Hill.
really good. But let's move on to some game previews. Of course, we're going to
Yeah,
start with the 2-0 matchup. Joe Dim, the defending runner-up against Colin McMahon, the kid who's never made the playoffs.
But he's got a lot to say this week.
Yeah, he has had
Yeah,
a
wow,
lot
big
to
mouth
say.
man over there, big mouth Mac.
Let's look at this matchup. What do you think, DBrown? What do you think about all the talk from C-Mac?
Who's he playing again this week, Lane?
Joe Dim,
2-0 versus 2-0, the matchup of the week.
Big Dick Garoppolo versus Mahomes.
Let me say this. I don't know if it's about T-Mac, but I think Joe Dim's team has kind of started a lot better than they are. I just want to put that on record.
Okay. Explain a little. I think he's got a solid team, but
I think, can Juju Smith-Schuster
Yep.
keep doing what he's doing if Antonio Brown's supposed to be Antonio Brown and they're number one? I just don't
Yep.
think Juju can keep doing that. And Thomas has gone off each week. You know?
Yeah, and it's like,
over-
does Juju start this way if Le'Veon's there?
Yeah, so I just don't think Dim's team can keep up the hot start.
I disagree. I really disagree. I think he's got a solid team. I mean, Gurley's great. I love Gurley. I mean, Garoppolo, we'll see what he can do, but I think he could be pretty consistent. Michael Thomas and Smith-Schuster, I believe in them. And I think Landry, he looked good last night. I like him a lot moving forward.
Wide out is where he falls
Never
off.
gonna
Michael,
line up, you know?
Michael
I don't-
Thomas has set records, and Juju's top 5 in receiving. Like, I just don't think those two stay consistent.
But he's got Bernard and Mixon to fill in a spot there. He's got Gurley. That's the two running back spots. And then he's got Michael Thomas, Smith-Schuster, and Landry, who I look at as 3 consistent starters. I think he's got a good team.
Mixon. I'm not sold on him coming back anytime soon.
No, 4 weeks at the earliest.
Yeah.
But looking at C-Mac's team, I think Dim has a much deeper team.
Arthroscopic knee surgery in a day mowing the lawn. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, get out of here with that. Tom Dapp. All right.
But my prediction for that game is I'm taking C-Mac starting 3-0 like he did last year, and Dim's team is I think he's gonna skid a little bit.
Nope, I think Dim's got a better team. Look at C-Mac's depth. Behind Mahomes and Kelsey, he's got Gordon starting. Brady said today it's a work in progress on the chemistry there, so we'll see what happens there. Adam Thielen, did you see that catch last week? How lucky can you get?
12 points he got
There's
after
nothing lucky
that?
about Adam
And
Thielen.
Rashad Penny's shit. Like, who's he starting? Let's see if his kicker is actually going to play this week. I don't really buy into Mac winning this week. I really don't.
Valid point.
I don't buy into Mac's team full season.
Valid points, but I'm taking him 3-0 C-Mac, and then he's gonna just tumble.
All right, let's look at the Daps and Jross matchup. Before we get into it too much, just a quick story. Dapson went up and tried to go to sleep early at halftime last night. Came down with like 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. No idea what's going on in the game. and Ross is just sitting here fuming because Hyde's got 22 points from the 2 scores and the 90-something yards, and Dap's like, wait, he scored twice? No way! It was awesome to see. Jross's expression was unreal.
Unreal.
There's nothing like going in a hole on Thursday like that. It's the worst feeling when you
after an 0-2 start to the.
Oh yeah, I mean, like when you're playing Sunday and someone goes off on you, you have players playing at the same time so they can make up those points at the same time. But this one, it's just like you got to sit on it all weekend. We're 0-2. We've lost 2 heartbreakers. The league is all on me. It's
right.
It's do or die, and it's not the start we wanted, but we're gonna fight.
Something we got coming at the end of the podcast is quote of the week, and I think this could be a runner-up possibly. Is the one
I was just gonna say it. Yeah.
The one Caleb texted us is that Ross says, "I think it's gonna be a long season for the Sex Panthers." I got a feeling.
I was in a dark place. Yeah. It's a bad feeling.
But let me just say this.
On a Thursday, 22 points against 0-2 start. Things aren't looking good.
Let me just say this. Jross has a decent team. You look up and down his roster. You got to respect it. And the fact he has more points scored. Hang on. He has more points scored than both Kirch and C-Mac, who are both 2-0. He has scored more points than both of them, and he's 0-2. So the real test of a true fantasy player is if he can fight this out and prove he's a great team. He has a great team. We'll see if he can do it. He's got the odds against him.
We're looking forward to doing it.
But he's got a decent squad.
One of the toughest 0-2s I've seen. When you put up that many and you lose by that little each week, it's just gotta hurt.
I think the worst thing in fantasy is to lose putting up the second most points in the league. It's like I play anyone else this week, I win. It's a tough.
Also to lose to C-Mac by 1.2 points.
It's like the amount of like Jordan Reed's fumble, Russ fumble, all these. Jordan
Reed fumble.
Me not even starting any defense and I win that game. It's just the scenarios that go through your head. It sucks.
Yeah, and then you look at Dab's team. Pretty good squad. I think it's going to be a close matchup. I think it's going to come down to the wire. It's really.
Oh, no doubt. I wish I was playing a Lane or a Swags, a Sheehan. Dap's got a team that will be.
This kid is throwing so much shade at everyone.
Yeah. What else do you expect from Jross?
I mean, as I'm giving Dap a compliment, his team will be there in the end.
I wish I was playing a Lane or a Swags. The list goes on.
All right. Let's move on to the. What do you want to move on to?
Let's
Ross?
move on to your matchup. Let's get into Kirch Hall. Kirch, he's the rookie. I've been the first to advocate for him being in the league the past couple of years. We gave Rymack a chance. Yeah, that's all we got to say about that. And he comes in. We knew he would be the blockbuster trade. He was a part of the big one, and now he's got a squad. And it looks like it's going to be a good matchup. Hall got a tough break with Cook out, so we'll see how it goes.
What's the injury on Cook? Haven't even heard of that.
Hamstring. He heard it late in the game against the Packers, and he said it was just fatigue. I'm thinking hopefully it's just because they're playing the fucking Buffalo Bills. They deserve to be in like AA college football right now.
That's exactly what it is.
Like, what are they doing, dude? But I think Murray's going to step in and fill in, so I'm going with him.
I like the Kenny Galladay play.
No way. It's crossing my mind, but it's tough to go against a guy who's going to be the bell cow for a decent offense against the Buffalo Bill defense.
Yeah, but
he's bound to score at least a touchdown and 100 yards. That's my.
Sometimes you put too much faith in a handcuff, thinking he's going to do the same thing as the starter.
Him and McKinnon split carries last year once Cook got hurt, and he averaged around 70 yards, and he scored 6 touchdowns over 10 games. That's pretty solid splitting time. He's the bell cow now. I like him a lot.
Definitely had a real good year. I like it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a tough decision. Miller's put up points.
Nah, I don't really like Miller.
Yeah, it's tough. All right, so we'll move on to your matchup. It's you against, who are you playing this week?
I got Lane.
Lane.
The cupcake. I'm 1-1.
Mac brought this up today.
He's 0-2?
He's 0-2. His team's on paper is, let's be real, it's nothing nothing that you want to be scared about. Mac brought it up. He said he's the laughingstock of the league. I can't put him there quite yet. Mac is still the clear guy, but
Absolutely.
he has had some bad years lately, and it looks like he's heading for another one this year.
Yep. And let me say this: when you're playing Lane, just because, like you said, his team's not the best on paper. So when you see Lane on your schedule, you're coming into that week and you're going, I gotta win this week. If I cannot afford to lose to Lane, and it's a long season, but you just cannot take an L to that team, you know.
And you know those type of losses happen throughout the season that you look back on and you're like, I lost to Lane week 3.
Yeah. Jake Elliott put up 21 points or some shit like that. Like,
These are the weeks that
I like DBrown a lot in this matchup. I think he's got I like Clement, as we talked about earlier. I was talking him up to DBrown in the offseason. I think Mike Evans, kind of regret trading him at this point, but we'll see. Both your running backs, both going to
be honest, bold prediction, Mike Evans scored 16 touchdowns this year.
Wow. We heard it here first.
I'm sure a topic of discussion next week will be, though, Fitzy versus Winston, and where are we going to go with that offense? Because it's looked really good, and if you throw in Winston, he could fuck it up.
I'm all for Fitzmagic. Keep the man in.
You gotta ride the hot hand. Last matchup, we got
the Harvard man.
We got Matty Sheehan, and it's just
Conor McGregor Jr.
How about it?
Matty Shee, he's been in the playoffs almost every year. Always a good manager, and everyone questioned what was he doing in the draft, and it is proven. I mean, you can't expect Le'Veon Bell, but besides that, his team was still bad.
I mean, 4 out of his top 7 picks were highly, highly, highly questionable, and me and Ross and Dap are sitting up there. What is this kid? Looking at each other like, what is this kid doing? But hey, we'll see if he's got the fight. Everyone respects him as a manager. He's got some good moves up his sleeve, I'm sure, but we'll see if it's enough. I don't know.
On Swags, I think he has a.
Let me say this.
Swags is.
He's got good moves up his sleeves, but then he throws out a Quincy Enunwa on the Thursday night, and he gets some 5 points. Like, that's not a good move.
Yeah, but I mean, who else is he going with, honestly, at that point? I mean, when you draft Alshon, Julian Edelman, and Doug Baldwin, knowing that they've either been hurt or suspended, like, that's on you, and I'm sick of him using that as an excuse.
I agree.
A little bit on Swags' squad, I mean, I think it's not too bad. I mean, for him to be good, he needs DJ to be DJ. I
don't think it's happening.
I don't see it either. I think Swags is going to trade him soon, and
I don't see a trade out of Swags. I see him stubbornly hanging on to him all year.
I inquired the other day, and then Swags was like, I kind of think I'm stuck with him. That's what Swags said to me, and then he was like, what do you got to offer? And I never sent him an offer. We just ended up talking about like Larry Fitzgerald being a legend, but I never got an offer through to him because he was like, I think I'm stuck with him. And then I did some research, and I was like, I think you are, and like it's not a good year for him.
My favorite Swags quote is, I don't know, man. If I trade him, I'm just gonna regret it so hard if he goes off. Well, that's what you got to do when you make trades, Swags. But all right. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a matchup that's probably pretty low scoring. If you put up 80, you're probably gonna win it. But we'll see what happens here. I don't know. I could see this very well being a 50-55 score matchup. I really don't like either of these teams.
Yeah, they're for sure. I wish I had them on my schedule this week, but you don't create the schedule. You play who's there, and it's week 3. I mean, a little quote from me: we need a win. We're gonna bring it, and if not, I don't know what's gonna happen.
All right. There's our week 3 preview. We've got a good schedule on the slate. It's a big week for a lot of teams here. Proving point for teams like Jross. Even for myself, I'll take it. You know, I'm looking for the win. If I don't get it, I'm gonna be questioning a lot of things this week. So big week.
I think last statement underrated. Like besides myself, because I'm 0-2, biggest week is. You're not going to believe it, but C-Mac, he's 2-0, but the amount of chirping he's been doing this week, the amount of faith he's put in a guy who started 2 games.
3.
And the amount of three, my bad. And the amount of
He
trades.
looked horrible in his first start, by the way.
And the amount of trades he's made, it's kind of like it's prove it, Mac, in a first place matchup.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, so great segue. We're going to go into what's going to be a staple of this podcast, our quote of the week. And this one we're going to go with this week is C-Mac going with, "Yo, Pryor got picked up," on a Thursday afternoon. Just no response.
No one says anything.
Yeah, I go, "Nice, C-Mac." And then later on, while no one prompted him to do it, he goes, "Feeling a big game." Then he doesn't start him. So like, okay, what do you want, C-Mac? So if he goes off and you don't start him, oh well, I picked him up and no one can have him now, but you didn't fucking play him, so it's not really anything. And then he doesn't do shit, so obviously you're gonna get shit on for that one. So nice job on that, buddy.
Love it. Pryor got picked up. Feeling a big game. What the hell?
I think you had the best quote, D, where you were like, "I can assure you, no one had Terrell Pryor on their radar."
Literally, even if he went for 200 yards and 3 touchdowns, no one was going to pick him up.
And then then we watched last night's game, and it's like Curse, Anderson, and Anunwa are all ahead of him.
Yeah.
Yep. Hilarious.
Yeah. So
Classic C-Mac.
questionable on that one, but with that, we are gonna wrap up this podcast. Glad to have you all on board for our first ever podcast.
It was fun.
Looking forward to having some call-ins next week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I feel
absolutely.
like we had to adapt quickly. We just had to get our feet under us to get a feel for this, but we can definitely
Right.
have some guests.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it. Glad to have everyone on board, and we will look forward to week 3 on Sunday and Monday night, finishing it up. And we'll hear back from you guys, or you'll hear back from us on Tuesday for a wrap up of week 3. We hope you all enjoy your weekend, get hammered like we're gonna do tonight, and enjoy.
Go Sox Panthers.
We'll see you boys then.
Peace out, DBrown.
See you boys.